Brilliant hues paint African skies. Laughter and music fill the air. There lived a remarkable woman named Amina. At 28 years old, she was known for her incredible strength, sharp mind, and deep connection to her community. Amina was a gifted storyteller, weaving tales that celebrated the rich history and culture of her people. She dreamed not only of adventure, but of a love that would transcend boundaries, a love that would allow her stories to travel far beyond her village. But one fateful day, as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the hills, her life took a dark turn. While gathering herbs by the river, Amina's world was shattered when a band of ruthless slave traders stormed into her village. They captured men and women, tearing families apart and dragging them away from their homes. Amina fought with every ounce of strength she had, but she was overpowered and seized. As she was taken away, her heart ached for her family and her home, the vibrant colors of her world fading into a terrifying darkness. Amina's journey began on a cramped, stifling ship, a vessel that felt like a floating prison. She was thrust into a nightmarish reality, surrounded by other captives who shared her fear and despair. The air was thick with anguish as they were shackled, treated like animals, and forced to endure the cruel whims of their captors. Despite the horrors of their situation, Amina clung tightly to her stories, whispering them to her fellow captives in hushed tones, hoping to keep their spirits alive. Days turned into weeks, and the ship creaked and groaned across the vast ocean. Each passing moment felt like an eternity. Amina's heart ached with memories of her village, the laughter of children, the warmth of her mother's embrace, the beauty of the sunset over the river. When they finally reached the shores of a foreign land, it was a bustling European port city, full of sights and sounds that were both fascinating and frightening. Towering buildings loomed above her, and the people rushed by, indifferent to the suffering surrounding them. Amina was sold at a cruel auction, her life now in the hands of a wealthy merchant who saw her as nothing more than property. The moment she was handed over, she felt the weight of despair settle heavily on her shoulders. Life in the merchant's household was a relentless struggle. Amina was forced to work long hours, cleaning, cooking, and tending to the needs of the merchant's family. They treated her with disdain, often punishing her for the smallest mistakes. Each day was a test of her strength and resilience. The harshness of her reality threatened to extinguish the light within her, but Amina refused to let her spirit be broken. In the midst of the chaos, she found small pockets of joy. A fellow servant, a kind-hearted woman named Zara, became her confidant, sharing laughter and whispered secrets in the quiet moments they stole away from their duties. Amina also found solace in the beauty of the world around her. She would steal glances out the kitchen window, marveling at the colors of the sunset that reminded her of home. Slowly, she began to learn the language of her captors. She discovered that storytelling was a powerful tool, one she could use to connect with others. Amina started entertaining the merchant's children with her tales, spinning stories of brave heroes, mystical creatures, and far-off lands. The children were captivated, often begging her for more. Through their innocent affection, Amina found a glimmer of hope in her otherwise bleak existence. One evening, the merchant hosted a grand ball to showcase his wealth and status. Among the guests was Prince Leopold, a kind and thoughtful man who had grown weary of the shallow, superficial life of the royal court. Feeling restless, he wandered away from the festivities, drawn by the laughter and warmth emanating from the kitchen. When he encountered Amina, he was immediately struck by her spirit. She was busy telling a story to the merchant's children, her eyes sparkling with life. Leopold was captivated by her words and the way she brought her stories to life. He introduced himself, and they began to talk. Amina shared tales of her homeland, describing the vibrant colors of the land, the rhythm of the music, and the strength of her people. For the first time, she felt truly seen and appreciated. As the weeks went by, their friendship blossomed. Prince Leopold found himself drawn to Amina's resilience and warmth. They met in secret, sharing their hopes and dreams, laughter, and stories. Amina felt a connection to Leopold that she had never experienced before. He treated her with kindness and respect, something she had thought impossible in her current situation. After several months of growing closer, Prince Leopold devised a plan to free Amina from her life of servitude. He arranged for her to be released as a gift, presenting it as a charitable act to the merchant. On the day of her release, Amina was overwhelmed with emotions. She had gone from being a prisoner to having the chance to choose her own future. In the moonlit garden, away from the prying eyes of the court, Leopold confessed his love for Amina. With a heart full of hope, he knelt before her and asked for her hand in marriage. Amina's heart raced, filled with joy and disbelief. Could this truly be happening? The weight of her past was heavy, but the promise of a future filled with love shone brightly before her. With tears of happiness streaming down her cheeks, she accepted his proposal. Their wedding was a magnificent celebration, blending the rich traditions of Amina's African culture with the elegance of European customs. The ceremony was filled with music, dancing, and vibrant colors. Friends and family gathered, and for the first time, Amina truly felt free and loved. As the years passed, Amina flourished in her new life as a princess. She worked to transform the royal court, using her voice to advocate for the rights of the oppressed. Amina became a powerful figure, championing the cause of those who had suffered, as she once had. Together with Prince Leopold, she dedicated herself to abolishing slavery, sharing her story to inspire others to take action. Amina's life became a beacon of hope for many. She not only reclaimed her freedom but also used her experiences to help others find theirs. Her love for Prince Leopold deepened, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. They traveled back to Amina's village, where she introduced him to her family and community, bridging the gap between their two worlds. The reunion was a joyous occasion, filled with laughter and love. Amina's stories became a legacy, inspiring future generations to fight for their rights and for justice. She reminded everyone that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can rise above adversity. Amina's journey from captivity to royalty became a powerful symbol of resilience and hope. She proved that no matter how difficult life may seem, love, respect, and the courage to share one's story can change everything. As Amina stood on the shores of her homeland, she knew her journey was far from over. She continued to tell her stories, ensuring that the voices of her people would never be forgotten. In her heart, she carried the dreams of every captive soul, inspiring them to break free from their chains and embrace their destinies. Her life was not just her own. It became a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Amina taught that true freedom is not just the absence of chains, but the presence of love, understanding, and the courage to dream. With Prince Leopold by her side, she continued to champion the rights of the oppressed, ensuring that her story, and the stories of countless others, would be heard for generations to come. If you enjoyed Amina's incredible journey of love, resilience, and hope, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Together, we can keep the spirit of storytelling alive.